Hey there, it's Mimi with the dailyfastingblog.com, and I'm going to answer today probably one of the most frequently asked questions that I get, which is what do I eat? What does a typical day of intermittent fasting look like diet wise? And first of all, it's important to know that intermittent fasting doesn't imply any specific diet. In other words, people who practice intermittent fasting can eat a paleo diet, they might eat a low carb diet, they might not have any specific diet at all. It doesn't imply any specific diet. So you can eat whatever you'd like. If you want to eat a specialized diet, you can do that. If you don't want to eat a specialized diet, you can do that also. In my case, I've sort of tried a few different things. When I first started intermittent fasting, July 1, 2014, I ate whatever I wanted. And I am a recovering carboholic, so that meant at the time I was really into tea and afternoon tea and making scones and having with cream tea and all that wonderful stuff. So I ate that stuff, ate basically whatever I wanted. After a while, when my weight loss sort of started slowing down a little bit, which is very typical, I tweaked it and began low carb. I started low carb, high fat, which I had done somewhat successfully in the past. I could never seem to stick with it, but I did have some success with low carb, feel best when I sort of limit carbs. So I went to that for a few months, and as usual, I really couldn't stick to that really religiously as even I had in the past. So I didn't really stick with that. But again, the weight loss didn't necessarily go any faster or any slower. It really didn't make a whole big difference for me. So I did low carb, high fat for a while, and then I just kind of went back to just eating as healthy as I can, and that's what I've stuck with for the most part, even until now, which is just eating a normal, if you want to say normal, meal that focuses mostly on healthy fats, vegetables, and a little bit of lean meat or, usually chicken breast, that type of thing. Don't eat a whole lot of red meat, but that's sort of my typical diet. So let me walk you through a day in the life of an intermittent faster. In my case, what I eat. So I fast for 19 hours a day, which means I get up in the morning. I don't eat breakfast. I drink water and I drink tea. No calories at breakfast. I don't eat lunch. And then I fast until 5 p.m. Now, usually I'm still at work at 5 p.m., so I will break my fast with a small snack, such as a handful of almonds, a couple tablespoons of peanut butter, just sort of something to hold me over until I commute home and can make a meal. So at that time, when I get home, it's usually about 6:30 or so, and at that time I will eat a normal sized dinner. And when I say that, I mean that a lot of people have the misconception that when you fast and you've gone this length of time without eating, that you're going to gorge and eat this big meal. And the reality of it is, it doesn't happen. It might happen at first, actually, until you sort of adjust. But there's a beautiful thing that happens, and Dr. Bert Herring writes about this. It's called appetite correction. And what happens is that after a while, you don't feel the need to sort of compensate for the hours that you've not eaten. And it's it feels just fine to eat a normal sized meal, meaning just a plate of dinner, just like you would if you had eaten breakfast and lunch. So that's typically what I do. I eat a normal sized portion of food for dinner. Again, it might be chicken breast with some broccoli or salad. Sometimes it's pizza, sometimes it's a burger. I can eat and I do eat anything I want to, but I still practice moderation. So after my dinner, maybe a little snack I might have in the next hour, because of course I have a 5 hour window, so I have that window of time that I can eat anything I want to. So after I have dinner, I might have a snack or two. I might even have dessert, again, in a reasonable portion. and snack a little bit. You know, usually it's the wind down time after dinner, so I might be watching a movie with the family or just watching TV or doing what have you. And so at that time, I might snack on a little something, and that's it. That's pretty much my schedule of eating for the day until the next day at 5 p.m. when I break my fast all over again. Now, again, a lot of people will hear that and they think, isn't that starving yourself? Like, how do you function at work? How do you, manage to focus and concentrate? And I have to tell you again, it's appetite correction in action, because it is actually easier. And this is the part that is so difficult for people to grasp until they try it. It is actually easier to go for that length of time without eating than to try to portion control throughout the day. There's nothing to think about. It's sort of a no-brainer. And after a while, it just really becomes a habit. And it is the most, in my opinion, sustainable weight loss plan that you'll ever try, because you never feel deprived. I never have to limit or to rather to not eat certain foods. I never have to restrict any certain foods. I can eat whatever I want. I just have to wait to do it. And so it really becomes very sustainable. And I've been at it for over a year now. It's the longest I've ever done any plan, and it's the most weight that I've ever lost ever in my life, over 50 pounds now, and still going strong. So if you have any questions about what my eating plan looks like, if you're trying intermittent fasting and you're having some questions about how to get started or how to keep it going, please go ahead and put those in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. And meanwhile, you can follow me on my blog, thedailyfastingblog.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at dailyfastblog. You can follow my Facebook page, The Daily Fasting Blog, on Facebook. I'm even on Instagram, The Daily Fasting Blog. Until next time, bye-bye.